I'm Shanti, and greetings to those of you who are able to join us live. Always really great to see you. We get a lot of energy from your blessings and enthusiasm, so thank you for making the time. And also warm greetings to those of you tuning in later on through the YouTube video. We know that many of you do, and we value that as well. There's a yoga experimentation that I did for maybe 5 or 6 years when I was developing my yoga practice. And I've been wanting to share it with all of you for some time. And it was just a case of getting that right opportunity. And then last Sunday, Baba spoke the first page of a Morally, which was just perfect for introducing this yoga experimentation. So I thought to myself that we would reread that first part of the Morally today and then go into that yoga experimentation, and then we'll hear from everyone about their experiences. This was really still the days before the internet, and so it was not so easy to get Baba's pictures and things. Now it's like just available to all of us all the time. But this would have been maybe late 90s, something around there. And Baba tells us that we have to develop all relationships with him. And I would say my first beginning of my efforts, I would have been 16, 15, 16 years old, that sort of age, 17 years old. I would say mostly I was just remembering Shiv Baba as a point in the soul. And of course, you're thinking in your mind, how do you relate all relationships to this point? It's a little bit counterintuitive to what we are used to as human beings. And I was young anyway, but I think for a lot of us, we experience Baba's love a lot through the family, through the gathering. So I like looking back with hindsight. Probably I didn't have all relationships with Shiv Baba. Probably I had some with Shiv Baba. And actually I was getting the rest of the relationship love more through the family. Of course, we had the opportunity to have someone like Devi Janki there with us. When someone is so connected with Shiv Baba, they can share like so many different types of vibrations with you. So you can get fulfilled in that atmosphere. And of course, the wider Brahmin family. So then I was listening to a class, I think I was meeting one brother in Madhuban. And I've always had a good friendship with those Madhuban brothers like Surya Bhai and Atan Prakash Bhai and Ramnath Bhai. And I think some of you are in that category too, that those of us who were BKs in the 80s and 90s, these were the only brothers who could speak English in Madhuban. So they ended up taking a lot of our classes. And they realized early on that most of the questions were about yoga. And people did not know really how to have yoga. Like now, actually, we got a lot of guidance and material and commentaries and things. But back in the day, I'm not sure that we had those things. And these brothers were like the pioneers for helping us to learn how could we experiment with yoga. And then I got to know one brother I didn't know before, Brother Ram Lochan, who is now down in Shantivan, looking after the kitchen areas there. And I'd asked him this question then around having all relationships with Baba. And he had said to me that we have to experience each one separately first. And as we become proficient in each relationship separately, we reach a point which Baba calls in the Murli, Shiv Baba as the saccharin of all relationships. So there's this phrase that comes in the morally, and if you remember, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had that morally where Baba kept using the word sweet. Do you remember? Sweet, sweeter, sweeter. And as I said to you, I didn't count, but I reckon at least 50 times he used the word sweet in that morally. Of course, every morally he begins with sweet children. But there are a few moralies where we gain insight into Brahma Baba's experiences. And so Brahma Baba is sharing with us that Shiv Baba is the saccharin of all relationships. And he's talking about this stage where we can reach in yoga, where we can get like the essence of all the relationships. But what this brother was explaining to me was his experience was we got to practice each one separately first. And then it develops in our pilgrimage to be able to just like experience Baba as the point and get everything. And I think this is what I was experiencing, that I was remembering the point form very nicely, but yet, there's something missing inside of my emotion, something missing inside of my heart. So today we're going to do the yoga experimentation that I did in those days. And what I did was, many of you will have been to Madhuban and seen the pictures in the history hall. And again, before the internet, they would sell the pack of those photos in Madhuban. And I purchased all those photos. And so what I did was I used those photos to then experience Shiv Baba in each different relationship. And this is what we are going to begin with today, in today's experimentation. Those photos of Brahma Baba were released in 1969. He never allowed anyone to have those photos when he was in the corporeal form. The only pictures of Brahma Baba are in the diagrams of the course pictures. But Brahma Baba was very keen to move away from bhakti. I'm sure most of you have been to or seen Hindu temples, and they're full of pictures. So what Brahma Baba wanted is that we move away, like Baba's classroom, it doesn't seem like a temple. It should seem like a classroom. And there are many moralities where Baba says you don't need these images. What you need to do is just to remember Shiv Baba, remember the incorporeal father, like that. So in that way, Baba was not, he's trying to move us away from photos and images, and we are like, everyone is hero worshipping Brahma Baba anyway, he knows that. So he didn't want to have all of that. He just wants us to remember Shiv Baba. But after he became an angel, these pictures were released. And Shiv Baba began to say, this is why we began like having a Baba's room. There was no Baba's room before when Brahma Baba was there. It was just the classroom. And in the classroom, you have meditation. And then Shiv Baba said to have that picture of Brahma Baba, like we have in Baba's room. And Shiv Baba said that for him, he can give you drishti through the picture, or he can give you drishti through a body, or he can give you vibration from soul. Same for him. So the pictures are there because Shiv Baba has said he will give us these vibrations. And this is why in Baba's dream we have that picture of Brahma Baba. And you might remember, I think maybe Wednesday's Morley was on that theme of the two being combined. And Baba was being very specific that you can't really separate the unique couple. And Daddy Janki used to be asked this question a lot because many people, like I was saying to you, I think I also started like that. It's like we're remembering Shiv Baba. We don't want to remember any bodily being. But Daddy Janki used to always say that we can't separate. You just have to understand that how they both work together. So hence we're going to use these pictures today, these photos today. And to begin, we're just going to listen to the first page of last Sunday's Morally, because that will give us some good stimulus and take us into that right frame of mind. And then we'll switch into the yoga commentary and then hear your experiences after.
Shanti, good morning to all. This is Avyakt Bap Dada. We had this Murli on 4th of February 2024, that is last Sunday. We heard this Murli. And original date is 31st January 1998. And the title is In Order to Pass with Honors. Check your account of all the treasures you have accumulated. Today, Bap Dada is pleased to see the fortune of all the young and old children of this land and abroad. Throughout the whole cycle, no one apart from Brahmin soul has this fortune. Even the deities consider Brahmin life to be elevated. Each of you should examine your life from its beginning and see how elevated your future has been from the moment you took birth. As soon as a child takes birth, he receives the fortune of being sustained by his mother and father. Then he receives the fortune of being taught by a teacher. After that, he receives directions or blessings from a guru who gives you children sustenance, teachings, blessings, and Srimad. Baba is asking here, as soon as we are born with Baba, who gives you children sustenance, teachings, blessings, and Srimad. You receive all three from the Supreme Soul. Look at the sustenance. Look how only a handful out of many receive God's sustenance. No one except you receives teachings from God, the teacher. No one except you receives teachings from God, the teacher. Only you receive Srimad and blessings from the Satguru. So, do you know your fortune very clearly? Do you continually swing whilst keeping your fortune in your awareness? Do you sing the song, How Wonderful My Fortune Is? Will you sing it? At the time of Amrit Vela, when you wake up absorbed in love for God. Love for God awakens you. Your day starts with love for God. If you didn't have this love, you wouldn't be able to wake up. Love rings the bell of your clock. The bell of love awakens you. Throughout the entire day, God's company enables you to carry out every task. Your fortune is so great that the Father himself leaves his supreme abode in order to come here and give you teaching. Did you ever hear that God leaves his home every day in order to teach you? No matter how far away souls come from, no place is further away than the supreme abode. Is there any land further away? Is America or Africa as far away? The supreme abode is the highest land. God, the highest on high, comes from the highest on high land to teach the highest on high children. Do you experience your fortune to be highest on high? In the form of the Satguru, he gives you Srimad and also his company in every task. He doesn't just give his directions, he also gives you his companionship. What song do you children sing? Are you with me or far away from me? You are with me, are you not? If you listen to anyone, it is the supreme teacher. When you eat with Bapdada. When you eat on your own, that is your. Do you remember what Baba said last week's morning? Mistake. It's your own mistake if you eat on your own. The Father says, eat with me. You children have also promised, I will live with you, I will eat and drink with you, I will sleep with you, and I will return home with you. So, live with you, eat and drink with you, I will sleep with you, and I will return home with you. You mustn't go to sleep on your own. When you sleep on your own, the dreams you have are bad and have bad thoughts in them. So good checking point. And Baba has given, talked about all the relationships in this paragraph. So whenever the bad thought comes, Baba says, that means you are alone. You have forgotten Baba to keep Baba's company. So Baba says, however, because the Father has so much love for you, he tells you to sleep constantly with him. Do not sleep alone. When you awaken with the Father. When you go to sleep with him. When you eat with him. And when you go for a walk, you also walk with him. When you go to your office or business, you are just a trustee of that business, and the Father is the master. When you go to work, you know that your director, your boss is Bap Dada. You are just an instrument and doing everything under his directions. When you are sad sometimes, the Father becomes your friend and tries to cheer you up. He also becomes your friend. When you shed tears of love, the Father comes to wipe away your tears. He places your tears like Remember? Pearls. So he wipes away your tears. He places your tears like pearls in the jewel box of his heart. When you sometimes become mischievous and sulk, and you do sulk in a sweet way, the Father comes to make it up with you. He says, it doesn't matter, child, now move forward. Whatever happened has now become the past. Forget it. Let the past be the past. He tries to make it up with you in this way. So with whom do you spend your whole day? With Bap Dada. Sometimes Bap Dada is amused by the children when they say, Baba, I forget you. On the one hand, you say that you are combined. So can you ever forget the one with whom you are combined? When you are with someone, how can you forget the one who is with you? So Baba says, well done, children. You children have so much strength that you separate yourself from the one who is combined with you. You are combined, and yet even a little Maya separates those who are combined.
So really nice definition of what is Raj Yoga. And we could just read this to anyone. Now, what do you do in Raj Yoga? Baba tells us so often in the Murali, remove the word yoga. Just have the word remembrance. And what I like here is it even doesn't even use the word remembrance. Even remembrance in our mind seems to be connected with effort. But he says, just celebrate a meeting. Just remember you're combined. And it's not even about an effort anymore. So let's begin with these first four foundational relationships in our yoga practice that Baba mentioned. The mother, the father, the teacher, and the Satguru. So these are the foundation. And then in another week, we will do a yoga experimentation on some other relationships. Daddy Genki used to always say, we have to begin with Baba as the mother, because we need a lot of love as we are coming out of the Iron Age. We are heavy, we are damaged. And so Baba as the mother is our first relationship to help us to heal. I'm sharing with you this photo here. I'm sure you've seen it before. And of course, these things are subjective. So it's not at all a case of this is the one for the mother, for everyone. You can choose your own one. But I actually had this made into a large picture and put in a frame, and it is in my bedroom for many years. So this was very important one for me. And for me, this gives me the feeling of Baba as the mother. So we're going to use that today. And in this yoga experimentation, we're going to visualize the two souls in the throne of the forehead, Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba. As they said to us on Wednesday, they're a very unique couple. You can't separate them. It is the eternal mother and father souls here. That this face, it communicates to me that gentleness and that care. And as we experiment, as you see the different photos as well, you'll have the feeling that in each relationship, the drishti is slightly different. This is the difference. Same Baba, but the drishti is just a little bit different in each relationship. So let's just take ourselves into yoga. I won't play some music because sometimes the music can then interfere with the voice when you go through Zoom. But if on your side you want to play some music, you're welcome to play whatever you prefer. And for this next few minutes, we're just going to spend time with Baba as the mother. And Baba as the mother has one very, very clear slogan. Child, as you are, what you are mine. So Baba as the mother means 100% unconditional love. Whatever are your mistakes, your flaws, your errors, you are still mine. And so let's experience for the next number of minutes, just sharing our heaviness and burdens and handing them to Baba the Mother. And also any pressure we put on ourselves to hide some of ourselves, like, because as human beings, we wear many masks. We hide things on the inside and we present these different images on the outside. And why this practice with Baba the Mother is very important is actually makes us authentic. The better our relationship with Baba the Mother, so what Baba was explaining just now in the Morali was the relationship gives you a different identity. And that identity emerges certain qualities in you. And as we experience this unconditional acceptance from Baba, we learn to let go of the technique of hiding part of ourselves, of being many selves. In front of Baba, we have to just be all of our multiple selves we have to present. Baba the Mother. Baba the Mother does not expect us to achieve anything. You don't have to make effort for anything. You don't have to become anything. Sometimes we're feeling a little bit heavy, emotional. We feel a little bit tired. And we think that we got to always be the student, we got to always be the effort maker. But in this relationship with Baba as the mother, you don't have to become Karamati. You don't have to become an angel. You don't have to become a deity. You don't have to do anything. As you are, what you are Baba's. And as Baba is, he is yours. So let's just experience that feeling of complete openness and transparency and authenticity. And for this next 10 minutes, we will just experience Baba's unconditional love. gently. Now let's switch across to experiencing Baba as the father. As I was mentioning, you will all have your own preferences for which photos to choose. I'm only sharing the ones that I've chosen. And what this photo communicates to me is the father's pride, the father's loyalty. And it gives me that feeling that don't worry, because I've got a very powerful father just sitting in the background. Don't worry about anything. बड़ा बाबा बैठा है, चिंता मत कीजिए. And a very powerful father. And he's just relaxed because nothing is too big for him. Nothing is a problem for him. He is totally able to handle. His great capacity to handle. So when I look at this pose, it's like that pose of relaxed authority. And the father is the protector. So I get that feeling of protection. And I also get the feeling of trust because the father also wants to empower the children. We can't just sit in the father's lap the whole of our lives, right? We would never grow. We have to be put in the front. So Baba becomes the backbone. And he says, children, you got to do it because you will not grow, you will not learn unless you are doing it yourself. You will be empowered through them. But don't worry, I got a safety net for you. Now, if you mess things up, you get things wrong, I will protect you. And in advance as well, Baba sometimes removes the obstacles before we even realize that they're coming. So let's spend the next few minutes connecting with Baba, the Father. Shanti. Let's now move to connecting with Baba as the teacher. Of course, for all of us, the morally is the basis of our Brahmin lives. And it's so important that we have morally at Amrit Vela each day because it's nourishment for the soul. And then it sets us up for our thinking and our awareness and our vision and how we respond to different things in the day. And we see even the Avyakt Moralies as well, how Baba explains everything very patiently, doesn't he? We have so much detail as well. There's no other religious father or guru who explains so much in so much detail. And you can see here the gathering, the patience, the ocean of knowledge explaining to us. We can see the pictures in the background as well, the diagrams. And so there's great value for knowledge. And I was sharing with you the other day how Dada Jagdish used to say that when Baba was talking about the soul, the expression on his face was of great wonder. And that such a tiny soul has this big roll of 84 birds recorded within it. How the soul is an actor. The soul is basically a story, a series of stories. And the soul is constantly expressing that story and sharing that story eternally. And that is really a wonder because we have the knowledge of the soul to some degree in Bhakti, but we don't think about it that way at all. And no one is soul conscious anymore. But here, Baba takes each point and explains in so many angles, so many layers to these points. And he transforms our intellect from being a stone intellect, being a dull intellect, and he makes us master knowledgeful. Knowledge itself changes us so much, doesn't it? Like just having more, even if we didn't have any yoga, just having the knowledge, it makes us such different people to how we were. And as we go into the depths of knowledge, we can really appreciate the jewels that are there. So let's connect now for the next few minutes with Baba as the teacher. And let's revise some of the points in our mind of today's Morali, the Moralis of this week, the Moralis recently, and just discuss them with Baba. Because Baba appreciates the active intellect. He doesn't want us to have passive intellects. There's one or two Muralis where Baba uses his sense of humor, and he says that if you have a dancing girl, she only enjoys dancing if she gets a good audience. She dances better. And once Devi Janki had said this to me. She said that her classes were better when I was in the audience because she felt there was someone who was grasping what she's saying. So that's the type of student we want to be, right? We want the teacher to feel that we are a pleasure to teach. Maybe some of you are also teachers, and whether it's a BK teacher or a Lokik teacher, maybe you've taught some things to people. And if you can get a student who's really keen, really interested, you really enjoy teaching. It becomes such a pleasure. And that's what we want the teacher to feel, that we are really serious-minded students. And teachers like to see ambition, don't they? They want to see the students who are going for the A grade, the students who want to become something, because study is a source of income. Study is the basis of changing our lives. So we have to value that and value the teacher. Ultimately, it's Shabba's main role in the drama. In real terms, like we are saying all these relationships, but mostly these relationships are subtle, aren't they? The actual action that Shabbat performs is to speak the Quran. So this teacher is the main role of Shabbat, and that means the role of the godly student is our highest role in the cycle. So let's spend the next few minutes connecting with Baba as the teacher. Shanti. Now let's move to Baba as the Satguru. Baba tells us that children, the Satguru is the one you've got to go back home with. The Satguru helps you through the day because he's given you Srimad. There's not a single thing that we haven't got Srimad for. And Srimad is our conscience at the confluence stage. We just have to ask ourselves, what is Srimad for this? Or we just ask ourselves the question, what would Baba want? What did Baba say? Any of those questions, immediately our conscience awakens and we gain clarity. This is what I have to do. So we really appreciate Baba the Satguru. He is the guide and he is the liberator. So the guide means Shrima and the liberator means yoga. So the Satguru takes us beyond with his drishti. He takes us beyond with his glance. Daddy Janki used to say that when we look at Baba's picture like this, it's as if he's with us and it's as if he's beyond already at the same time as you look into Baba's eyes. And the Satguru, we look into his eyes and it's as if his eyes are just pointing upwards. Children, time to go back home now. And Baba was saying this morning in the Morley how only Shri Baba would ask you these questions because he's the only one that would know these things and can actually do anything about it. No one else asks you, but children, how will you become pure? Children, now how will you prepare to go home? No other guru asks you these things because they can't actually take you back home. But because Baba can actually, and is actually, liberating you, he's removing all of the past burdens because you can only go back double light as a tiny soul with none of the baggage. So you're just the embodiment of light and you'll have lightness. You're double light. Baba, the Sadguru, is also the bestower of blessings. And with the Sadguru, it's a very powerful relationship. Gain the Sadguru's blessings when we actually achieve something. So when we have successfully transformed a sanskar, developed a virtue, developed a power, we've successfully achieved something in service. When there's a result, then the Sadguru blesses us. To gain the Sadguru's blessing is something which is conditional. The mother, totally unconditional. But Baba as the Sadguru is teaching us high standards. And he is saying to us, you have to actually achieve these things. You have to become. You can't just have the thought that you want to become like Baba. You actually have to become like Baba. And so Baba says your aim and your qualifications, they have to match. And if they do, as we continue to make them match, then the Satguru gives us blessings. And the Satguru's blessings take us into the flying stage because the Satguru is taking us up, taking us beyond. So let's connect with our Satguru. Ah, yes, one more thing. The Satguru's blessings change our luck. This is one. Thursday is known as Satguruvar, the day of the Satguru, and also the day of Jupiter. And the omens of Jupiter, Brahaspati, Brahaspati is like the guru of the deities, and it's a symbol of luck, good fortune. So we have had the omens of bad luck because of the impurity. But now the Satguru is changing our luck. So the Satguru's Shrima, the Satguru's blessing, they then change our fortune for many lives. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that yoga experimentation, and I'll be interested to hear some of your experiences. So if anyone would like to share anything, please go ahead.
Om Shanti.
Sure.
It really is a realize for me this visualization into the four aspects really takes you into such a deeper level. I was like with the first one, Baba's the mother. I automatically felt like a baby, in Baba's lap, and the innocence of it, and where Baba gives you all the love, the sustenance is there, and you feel protected and all that. That was the feeling that I felt, as this baby. And then the visualization of Baba as a father, the first thing I felt was like Baba was asking, child, what do you want with your life? Like a father would say, what your career? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? So this experiment was like Baba asking me questions. And, and also Baba as a teacher, Baba what came to me and Baba was saying, asking again, do you want to stay in this world of sorrow? Do you want to be in this donkey ship, with the burdens? And those questions came to me from Baba. And I was telling Baba, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. But this was more Baba asking me questions, not I asking Baba. And all those relationships. And especially the one with the teacher of this world full of sorrow. And it being that of a donkey ship, which means there's so much burden. If you get involved in this world, there's so much burden. And Baba is the Satguru. I think I lost it there. I wasn't able to concentrate much there. There's a little distraction here. So, but I was surprised that I felt that only questions were coming. Only questions. And while all the questions was like directing, in a particular going into a direction, pointing you into a direction, where you will have to answer. You have to determine for yourself. Baba's not telling you, you do this, you do that. He's just asking the question and you decide what it is you want. What do you want with your life? How do you want to feel? Whether you want to feel this love, this innocence, whether you want to be in this world, but telling you what it is all about. So those are the things that came to me in this meditation. Om Shanti.
Really beautiful. Thank you so much. Great sharing. And you reminded me as well of so many things which have dimensions, aren't they? Each of these relationships have many dimensions. And if we just hear it in the morally and we don't experiment, I've always says to us that we experiment with yoga, experiment with the points of knowledge. If we leave these things just in the locker of the intellect, so it's theoretical, it doesn't have that richness. But even a simple experiment like this, suddenly those same points that we know, they begin to, they feel different. Thanks very much. Would anyone else like to share?
Om Shanti to everyone and many blessings.
Om Shanti, Linda.
So two words came to me in the 4 relationships that that we engaged in just now. And one is this experiencing, and the other one is in experiencing, doing, and what was the outcome was I had a feeling or feelings of being, free, liberated. And this happened this morning in Baba's Murli too. It gave me so much liberation is all I could think about. The teacher relationship really gave me some intoxication because I went into a zone where I'm in a classroom and the teacher the relationship is teaching, learning. It made me feel so, you know, like I was being fulfilled and with all the experiments that he's saying, he's given the knowledge and he's saying, now you experiment with this. So, you know, in a classroom, there's simulation, and I'm in this scene of just, you know, experiencing what Baba is saying. And the Satguru, I heard Baba saying, okay, child, now you know you have these omens of Jupiter over you. So now go and you give to. You know, you walk the path being guided by me, by what I would have taught you. And it really restored this enthusiasm that I have for Baba when I was birthed into this here into this knowledge. Om Shanti.
Yeah, Om Shanti. Yeah, beautiful. I empathize with you. I also feel liberated when I sit in Baba's room. I think that is the overwhelming experience of yoga. Because we, even sometimes unconsciously, we begin to carry burdens. And what happens is we sit with Baba and we let go. This is what the relationships are mainly for, actually. And then if we are unburdened, then, as you say, we can feel that intoxication as well. And Baba's been talking to us a lot about that recently in the Moralies, that children, do you have this intoxication of these points? And Brahmababa had this very unique, very high level of intoxication. Daddy Janki was like that as well, right? Very, very intoxicated. So it's something that, yeah, absolutely, that's what it's a good reminder that you've given us. So that's how we have to listen to the Morali. And then the Sadhguru, it's totally about following in the footsteps, becoming equal. That he's saying to all of us, we got to become Bapsan. And that's the high destination he sets for all of us. And we can never do it if we are just using our manmat or getting influenced by Paramat. It has to be Srimat. And we have to embody that. Thank you so much for sharing. Would anyone else like to share?
Om Shanti, my family. I have, can you hear?
We can hear very well.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I realized that there is logic in this process of the relationship with Baba. And this commentary reminded me my own process of being, first of all, with the mother. In Arabic, the mother is and the father is Ab. So, indeed, the very first relationship is to be with the with the mother, and that was very, very powerful. Let me explain. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, it was very, very powerful and reminded me of this process of creation. We start with the mother. So, and also the mother is in Arabic, that really speaks to me a lot, because we are related to the mother through the womb, and the womb in Arabic is rahim, the uterus. And I really feel that when I am related to Baba as the you are like in a uterus, and it's in the uterus that the soul starts to grow, because it's very secret, it's very warm, and it's nurturing love secretly. So, and from this rahim, we start the process of creation starts then with the father. And I really liked that posture that really talked to me about how he's very confident, relaxed, but yet confident. And yes, and I would like to share with these two relationships and also with the Sadhguru, these verses in Quran talking about this. Didn't he found you orphaned and he sheltered you, and found you wandering and he guided you, and found you in need and he enriched you. Therefore, do not mistreat the orphan, those who do not have this relationship as the child. We should no longer be harsh and rude for the soul who doesn't have this kind of relationship with God as a child. So do not mistreat the orphan and not snub a seeker, the one who asks you and asks and asks. Yeah, sometimes we are fed up of people asking, but if we have the fortune to be in this relationship of the child and the student, we no longer have the right to be harsh and to be rude with those who do not live this relationship, but proclaim the blessings of your Lord. وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. You just share this ni'mat of God. And I feel that through this, here actually, like God will be talking to Muhammad, because he felt one day very sad when he lost his wife and then his two children. So, and he was pushed out of Mecca. So these verses came to him through the angel Gabriel, like God is talking to him. Didn't I found you orphan? Didn't I do that? Didn't I do that? But this really reminds me of our own process when we are alone and really wondering, and then God just finds us and starts again this process of creation by being the mother, the father, the teacher that doesn't really, he doesn't get tired from teaching us, and then the guide, the supreme guide that it gives us the right shrimat in every second, in every step. So I felt a lot of gratitude to you, to Baba, and yes, and I felt, wow, that will be forever. This is forever. So how lucky I feel. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you for taking us through that and reminding us about that concept of creation, how Baba adopts us and creates us and recreates us. And also, you see, the beauty of Baba's system is it's the sustenance. It's not just the creation. It's this long period of sustenance. And no other religion gets this much sustenance. We have a big advantage because both Shambhala and Brahmababa, they don't take rebirth. So they're able to just be with us all the time and just keep on sustaining. Even he created the yagya so that we got the centers and the family, sustenance. And so the thing about all these relationships, for example, many devotees will remember God as the creator or God as the father. But the beauty here is all the relationships and the sustenance of it. Often God the Mother is missing, isn't it, from Bhakti thinking. God the Father probably is the dominant one. But why the teacher is so important, the mother is so important, the Satguru is so important, is because it's sustenance. It's this ongoing nurturing. And this morning I was thinking how we got these three great powers, great tasks, the creation, the sustenance, and the distraction. But I think most of the drama is sustenance. I think 80% of the drama is sustenance. 10% creation, 10% destruction. Because if you think about it, most of our life, we are sustaining our body, sustaining others, sustaining us. Like mostly, creation is just small part of life. Distraction is just small part of life. But it's actually sustenance. That's the dominant thing. And I think this is what this practice of Raj Yoga is really giving us. It's this sustenance of the soul over a long period of time through all the relationships. Yeah, thanks very much for sharing. Would anyone else like to share anything? Thanks, Brother Goy. Good to have you here. Don't think we've met before. And Brother is saying that it was powerful and he will continue doing. Exactly right. So these things about yoga and relationships, they're never one event. What Baba is saying, you got to, like, why are you being separate? We are combined. And I think one of the reasons we separate is we feel our life is not worthy of God. So we think that this is our like human's life and human side. But what I liked about this morally we heard, Baba was very specific, wasn't he? You own a business, I'm the owner of your business. You're going to work, I am your director. You're just instrument. Even if you're going to work, you're just instrument then. Many times he tells us in the morally, doesn't he, that if you have a family, you are trusting. You have a house, you are trusting, meaning it's not yours. You have to make Baba everything. So this is, I think we've got to remove any maybe barrier or blockage in our own mind where we think something is not worthy of Baba, so we don't involve. But what Baba is saying, like all of you now must connect with me. And so Raj Yoga is about the whole. So you're right, we've got to keep doing because it's this deepening and refreshing and re-emerging that we got to continuously do. And if we just leave something, just we do one thing and then we left it for a while, we will not have the richness. We've got to continuously do it. One way of deepening could be to choose one relationship per day. You could do it that way. And so we could say, well, today I'm going to particularly focus on this one. And sometimes we, like this was just a few minutes, but we need to give ourselves hours. We have to give ourselves real time, maybe even a week. And just give ourselves that time with a relationship because we have to get to know. So you're quite right. We've got to keep doing. Thanks. Would anyone else like to share anything?
Yes, brother, I would like to share one point. At the beginning of my Brahmin life, I had some confusion with the relationship with God as the teacher and the Sadguru. For me, they were very, for me, like if is I didn't understand this notion of the Sadguru, but with time, of course, it got clearer, and now it's obvious for me. But I would like you, please, to just how this because all these relationships we really experienced them through the drishti, and really it was very distinct. But how Baba shifts from the teacher to the Sadguru, because it's this notion of Sadguru is very new outside India. We, I mean, maybe in outside India, the guide would be the religious founder, maybe. I don't know, but it's not very obvious outside India. So can you please add some specificities of this relationship? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sure. I mean, actually, when we Indians who will use the word guru, they do mean teacher. So you're quite right. The distinction is not so clear like that, actually, even for Indians. But what Baba does is he separates it because he's talking specifically about spiritual gurus. Because you could have, like, if you're learning dance, you have your dance guru. You're learning an instrument, you have your instrument guru. So they also will call that a guru, which means a teacher. But what Baba is doing is separating. And he's saying that type of teacher is like knowledge teacher. But the spiritual gurus, they are not just India, actually, I would say Pakistan, Afghanistan, like it's like maybe a whole South Asia culture that is very, very firmly in the mindset that you cannot be liberated without a guru. You cannot become wise without a guru. It's just that is ego. It just is not even possible. So there's this very deep cultural belief also. You cannot become wise on your own. Wisdom is like a shared, it's like a transmitted and shared process. The European model is different, like much more can be solo type of thing. So it can be more difficult, actually, people coming from that background to understand. So this is why with that is the notion, but Baba separates them because what he wants to emphasize to us in the morning is that you've got knowledge that teachers teach you. But what the gurus are teaching you is bhakti. It's not knowledge. So because he wants to make this very clear, he separates. And he says that the spiritual knowledge can only be given by Shabbat. And he says gurus are different to the Sat gurus. So Sat means true. And he says you've only got one true guru. And he is the guru of gurus. He will liberate even the gurus. And there's this one line in the Gita where Baba says that God says, I liberate even the saints and the gurus. And Brahma Baba jokes about this in the Murli as well, because he says he can recall his gurus when they're reading the Gita, they skip this line because God is saying in the Gita, even the gurus are degraded. I uplift even them. But when they're reading, they skip that and go down because they are presenting that you can be liberated only if you are my follower, like that. So that is the theoretical basis. Then I have my own experience with this. And as I was saying in the commentary, there's like a difference in conditionality. So why we must start with Baba as the mother is we don't really have that emotional strength. We have to develop this. So the mother is unconditional, like Ambika Ben was saying. We just become the baby, just in the lap. You were saying in the womb. It does. It's that close relationship, and it's like almost like unconscious relationship, like unconsciously, subconsciously, everything is connected with Baba. So with the mother, we don't have to become anything. We don't have to qualify for anything. We don't have to do anything. I would say with the father, 90% unconditional, but I think 10%, like again, as Ambika Ben was saying, the father's asking, what do you want to do with your life? And there's this expectation because the father gives the inheritance. And so there must be a certain worthiness. Otherwise, the father will not give you the inheritance. He will say, well, you become worthy and then I give it. So there's a certain trust and loyalty that must be there with the father. With the teacher, I think 50% unconditional. But the teacher is expecting us to study. And I think it's not unconditional at all in the same way. It's like he's wanting to see performance. And so each of these relationships give us blessings, but with the mother, we don't have to qualify for the blessing. With the father, we have to qualify a bit. So he's expecting us to live a Brahmin life. Like, you hear in the Murli, Baba says I don't like this phrase, I'm just using it because Baba uses right? Like real children, stepchildren. He uses this type of language. And what he means is that you've got to qualify also with the father. If he sees you following the purity and the lifestyle, then he says, this is my real child, because he has to give you, if you're a real child, he gives you the inheritance. So Baba is doing it that way. And then as the teacher, this is about passing exams. Baba tells us every moment is a test paper. Daddy Janki used to say that in a school, you study all year and then you have an exam at the end of the year. Or you might study like your one unit and then at the end of that unit, you have an exam. Here, we study 1 hour in the morning, whole day is exam. And Daddy Janki said, we're just examining the whole day about what we studied that morning. And so Baba is the teacher, teaches us in the morning, and then he observes. Are you passing your tests? You know karmic accounts are going to come. You know that the Iron Age will test you. You know that all sorts of sanskars and virtues and powers, they all have to be developed. So Baba is saying, we didn't read it, but the next part of that morally from last Sunday was about, is your nature a Brahmin nature? Brahmin nature means all the virtues, all the powers. So as the teacher, he's looking at that. And he said to us in the Boog message as well on Thursday, are you full? He's looking, he's examining. What are you doing here? So that's the teacher. And then the Sadguru, I think, is 100% conditional. You did it or you didn't do it. It constant or not, or sometimes. Like you hear this in the morning, Baba doesn't like the word sometimes. So Baba is always very loving, but he says, okay, raise your hand if you are having this such and such a stage. Are you doing this? Have you got happiness? Raise your hand if you're happy. And everyone raises their hand. Okay, keep your hand up if you're constantly happy, no matter what happens. And then the hands go down a little bit because he's not interested that we did it sometimes. You either have it, you're either expert or you're not. And so this is the Sadguru. It's about expertise, mastery. So Raj Yoga, the mastery. That's the Sadguru. did you master it? Did you master your mind? Did you master your feelings? Did you master the 8 powers? 75% tolerance? That's not mastering. So this is, we hear that in the morally as well, that tone is sometimes there. So in the morally, we have to identify, like Baba is the mother, Baba is the father, the teacher, the Satguru, and we'll do other relationship another time. But sometimes you can hear some morally where it feels Baba is being very strong. And that's because it's more the Satguru. And this is why I feel we have got to build towards the Satguru. Like, we're probably not. It takes us many years even to become strong and healed. And then we can really connect with the Satguru. Otherwise, we can feel quite intimidated because we're obviously not masters. It's just obvious. And so connecting with the Satguru. But to reach our final perfection, we must have the relationship with the Satguru. It's not possible to get to that final destination without the Satguru. This is why Baba always says, Father, teacher, Satguru. You've got to have these 3, and the mother is like blended within that one, because Shiv Baba always considers himself to be the father. He says, I'm not the mother, Brahma is the mother. So that's why he doesn't mention the mother, but the mother is merged there. So it's the mother and father, teacher and Satguru. That it's like I see as a journey.
Thank you.
Maria Ben, I can see you on the screen. I think you're in Motherban. Is that right? Yeah. Are you in Motherban? Yeah. Yeah. You have to unmute yourself. Are you able to unmute yourself? Hello, I'm Shanti. Where are you?
I'm Shanti. So I am in IT office because I wanted to have connection with you, and the connection was not so good. So I wanted to show you the Tower of Peace. To give. You saw the Tower of Peace also. Yes, but I don't know. Okay, so brother is saying I can bring you to. How many minutes are left for the lesson?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you can walk, but also
meditation is going on, but you can just in mute.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. And
So
I will just say hello to the brother as well. Bhaiya Om Shanti, hum sab UK se ekatrit hain. Thank you very much. Om Shanti. Hello. हम यूके में हैं और बाकी सब आपके साथ यहाँ एकत्रित हुए ट्रिनिडेड से भाई बहने हैं, आयरलैंड से भाई बहने हैं, न्यूयॉर्क से भाई बहन हैं, मोरक्को से भाई बहन हैं, तो हम सब एकत्रित होते हैं. So thank you very much. Nice to connect with you as well.
Good to hear. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
How many
You
more
can.
minutes? Because it's about 5-minute walk to.
Yeah, we can wait 5 minutes. Maybe someone wants to say something. Thanks very much, Maria. So we can get the direct Motherban vibration.
Yes, brother, while you were explaining this, really the specificity with the Sadguru, I was thinking is it through this relationship with Baba as the Sadguru for the soul that in the cycle there will be these prophets coming? Is it through this relationship that will be the seed of future religions?
Yes, I think so. I think it's this sanskar that we take. But all the religious fathers are gurus, and the souls belonging to those religions, I think they would always experience those religious fathers
Bye
to
for-
be like
for the
father,
compliment
teacher,
from
Sadhguru.
Switzerland.
Thank you.
Like that.
From Switzerland, because Lokik's son works in United.
So I think that they would always feel the father, teacher, so even if Shiv Baba is giving them the vibration, they will always have that experience of their religious father. Baba tells us. So I think that, you see, Baba reveals to us, he had this point earlier in the week, that you are the ones who take 84 births. So you are the ones who know about the 84 births. So even if Baba is the Satguru for everyone, he takes everyone back home. He's the guide, the liberator. But they might not know that he is. Like, this is Shiv Baba taking. They might feel like if they believe in Christ, they might experience like Christ is, like an angel is taking them. So I don't think that Baba is bothered about making everyone convinced about him, but he's telling us, we are like eyes open. But it's okay for others to have that experience, but through different gurus. So what Baba says is, depends where you are on the tree. If you are somewhere on the outside of the tree, you have to hold on to branch. The branch is next to another branch. Then branch is connected to another branch. And then that branch is connected to the trunk. And then that trunk is connected to the seed. So what Baba says, there will be many souls, they don't take directly Shiv Baba, Father, Teacher, Sadhguru. That's you, because you are the roots and you are the trunk. But they, like, we had for many years, like a big yogi like Daddy Janki, and so many souls, they will come to meet her. They will feel Baba through her. And if she is in the class, whole hall is full. 1,000, 2,000 people will come. Generally, to hear the Murali, 300 people. Like, it is not, they're not connecting with the seed, but they will connect with someone, and someone like her is very powerful root, very powerful, and she is powerfully connected to this. So what Baba is saying, all of you, you have to connect more and more deeply with the seed. Others, they will connect with you. And I even see this on YouTube. I noticed this, that when, like, we usually watch the Avyakt Bapdada Morniks in the video, and we have always liked that. But I noticed, like, not that many people watch those videos, like, generally. Like, there might be 500 views, 1,000 views. But then if they got a favorite BK teacher, might be 1 million views or 100,000 views of that BK class. But they are a root, they're not the seed. But I'm noticing people, they want to hear the same knowledge that Baba is saying, but they want to hear it from a BK because they will take through someone. And then more someone is outside, so it could be another religious person learns from the BK, and then in their own religion they share, and then that person can. So this is a tree. It's like cascading through the tree. Right? Thank. So while we wait for Maria Ben, we'll give another couple of minutes. Does anyone want to say anything else or share anything? Benjamin, did you want to say anything?
I will. If anybody else,
Yeah, you can.
what like mother, like you could describe nicely, Mom, we need mother first because usually in outside world also, the nurses, midwives, they clean the child and then they bring it nice and clean to the mother. So long the child has been connected via umbilical cord, and then it's cut off, and then child is washed and wrapped up, and then they allow the father. Nowadays fathers attend, but before, even here, fathers weren't allowed. They were called afterwards, after the child is cleaned and anyhow handed over to the mother, and mother would then introduce the father, that this is your father. And the father gets to see it. So it's mother's love first, and mother is needed because, there are some Avyakt Murlis, and sometimes Shiv Baba says to Mother Brahma Baba, why are they taking so long? And they don't listen carefully or whatever. And like we have all experienced, our mothers are always on our side, because fathers can be a bit strict and stern-eyed. And then Brahma Baba would say, Baba, they have been in this for so long, and bit, their habits and all this, and it takes time, and they are doing good job, they're making great effort. But still, have like father won't have that. They would still want child to progress, and so this is how today I felt. That reminded me this Dadi used to remember. It was good. We had Dadi when we came. It was lonely. So I experienced all this, and then Dadi used to explain all these pictures like. The different kinds Baba used to reenact, and so you saw at the end Satguru was like this holding. So that means, like you said, by Satguru, but Baba has been saying that Satguru, you are the great grandchildren. Last week he mentioned 2-3 times your Satguru ke potre potri, because we are the grandchildren of Satguru, because it's through Brahma Baba. Brahma Baba is our father as well. Through Brahma Baba, we get our inheritance. But inheritance is of our, grandparents always give inheritance through father. So Baba is, you saw the pose, Baba holding like that. So Daddy used to say that Baba says that none of my children get any bad omens. They always stay with me. They don't leave for any reason. Like Baba today said, that Baba, when any child sulks, Baba comes and says, child, past is past. Baba uplifts again and consoles that soul. And so Sadguru is needed because, he wants us all to pass with honor. Today's title, this title was Pass with Honor. You have to have accumulation. Remember? So whole Murli, it was very beautiful that first the mother, the father, and then teacher, because our child, we start to teach child even from birth. We don't want child to pick up any bad vibration, how we protect. And then once is goes to the nursery, and then primary school, and school. So we need a teacher, but teacher teaches. Teacher wants us to make our future, because it's our livelihood depends on how well we study. But the teacher won't do any favoritism, or won't bless us, like Baba says. Some children say, oh, Baba bless us, we pass our exam. Baba says, no, you have to make effort. You study hard. So that's teacher's role. So this is why teacher, like once the teacher was asking us, this teacher just wants, and Baba gives us our results. Even in this last Thursday, Shalan by sent the Bhog messages translated. In that, Baba was giving us our results for Monday, and about it, Siri Fort one also, and Pandav Bhavan Sashiben. Baba said, Sashiben said to Baba, we all are making so much effort. Baba says, no, that's not good enough. We are not making enough effort, because times are going to get so hard. Even the elements are working so fast. So listen to that.
And
so,
silence.
Yeah. And then the Satguru, without Satguru, we can't be, he's our guide. We didn't know where our home. And Baba wants to take us without experiencing any punishment. So that is the role of the Satguru, and he's the chosen. So I mean, we can go on. So all those poses there in History Hall, Baba's hands are at the back. And that goes as a trustee. Baba's teaching us that you are a trustee and nothing belongs to me.
We'll do those another one.
Yeah. So it was all coming back and it was lovely. I was enjoying, but it was nice to meet you all and listen to you all. Om Shanti.
Let's finish with some silence. Maria Benz had this elevated thought to take us all to the Tower of Peace. So let's enjoy that. And I was interrupted now, but I think we got a good view. And what a great thought she had. So thank you all very much for attending today. Carry on practicing. And then on another occasion, we'll run through some more of the relationships entitled and bit by bit build up our experiences. Om Shanti everyone. Have a good week.
Om Shanti, you too. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.